This E3 coverage is brought to you by Ting.
Hey Terralong.
Hey.
How was your E3 day too?
It was good. Actually, I really liked everything that I saw today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rare for video games.
I saw, well, I had several Xbox appointments actually.
Oh, cool.
I wasn't sure what they were for because when I booked them, it was like unannounced number 3.
How was unannounced Xbox Game 1 and unannounced
Oh,
Xbox
it's brilliant.
Game 2? Yeah.
Actually, I was really pleased with the games that I did end up seeing. We saw Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, that really like gorgeous side scroller from the press conference?
Yes. Oh my God, that game friggin' rules.
So what's the actual playing part of it like? What's special
So
about
you
it?
play as the little guy in the trailer, not the big guy. The big guy is actually not a dude at all. It's the little guy's mom. He's like a forest spirit or something. It's like a puzzle platformer. It's very like Metroidvania style. It's technically an action RPG, although you would never guess it by looking at that game. It's also, they've been working on that for a long time, like 4 years. They said they spent an entire year and a half on the controls. They're like they're actually like disappointed that people were responding, not disappointed, but like a little worried that people were responding so positively to the trailer, and because they were like, we want people to know that it's not just a pretty game, like we want it to feel as good as it looks.
Cool.
So they put a ton of effort into that.
That's exciting, because my knee-jerk reaction to the game was like, oh, this is although it's a really gorgeous side-scrolling indie game, it's another side-scrolling indie game.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about the controls?
Well, it's the controls feel very tight. Like you can tell that they've worked a lot on it. They were talking about like classic platformers and how the reason a lot of those games are so classic is because people worked on them for so many years and like fine-tuned every single aspect of the controls to the point where like they just feel really good when you play them.
This feels that way to you?
Yeah, they actually let us play it, which I was not expecting at all. And it felt really good, and it's gorgeous. Everything is like hand-drawn. There's no tiling in the game, so every single like art asset is completely unique.
That's
and it's
bonkers.
a pretty long game. It's like 10 hours.
Huh.
That was probably the best thing that I saw today. I also saw Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, word.
Which is pretty freaking amazing.
You get to play it?
No, we didn't get to play it, unfortunately. But that game is so crazy. Like, it's completely not serious in tone at all. Like, there are so many things in the game that just don't make sense. Like, the fact that you can bounce off of, like, bushes and stuff.
That's cute, I guess.
And grind everywhere.
It's pretty tonally different from Ratchet and Clank, I feel like.
Yeah, it's very like silly, but also like it breaks the fourth wall a lot.
Yeah.
And just completely makes fun of itself.
Do you find it funny? Because my knee-jerk reaction, just based on the trailers, not having seen much of the gameplay at all, was that it feels like what like a 40-year-old businessman thinks a 20-year-old gamer wants.
So the way I described it in my video was like, imagine if Suda51 made a Dead Rising game.
Okay.
That is what this would be like.
That's not a hard sell for me, actually. I would play that.
Exactly, right? It's just like there are just weird-ass characters everywhere. The part that, what they played for us didn't have a whole lot of dialogue or anything in it, so it was mostly action. But like, it just seems completely not serious at all. And like they were just like, we understand this is a video game. We're not trying to pretend like it's anything more than that.
Okay, fair enough.
And we're just like having fun with it.
I feel like there is maybe too many super grim, super self-serious games. I'm happy for someone to change that
And
up.
the people who made this worked on Resistance right before this came out.
Totally
so they were
did.
like, we just wanted to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
And just be silly with it.
It's good. They deserve a break.
So yeah, everything I saw today was really good. You saw a lot of stuff today.
I did. I finally got to play Arkham Knight, the new Batman game. It's pretty dope. I think the stuff that's exciting about it to me isn't the Batmobile stuff that they've been kind of taunting. Like, that stuff is there and is fine, and it stays out of the way. Like, if you had asked me, should they put a car in these Batman games, my answer probably would have been no. I think the way that they've done it is as unobtrusive as possible, but what's really exciting to me about that game is that it's another rock-steady Batman game with really great combat. And the way that they mix up the combat is interesting. They've got these fear takedowns that you can chain together, so you jump out of a vent and kill a dude usually. If there are other dudes around, they see you and it's over. With this, when you charge up this power, which you get by doing actual stealth takedowns, you can take out a dude, and if there's a dude nearby, you aim the camera at him, hit square, you take him out, still in slow motion, then you take out a third dude. It almost reminds me of the way it works in those later Splinter Cell games with the mark and execute stuff, but since it's Batman, you're marking and executing with your fists.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed MK10 or MKX,
oh, Mortal
or whatever
Kombat,
they're calling it. Yeah, I saw both of those kind of side by side. And as someone who liked MK9 and is not usually into fighting games, I am happy to report it is just stupid as hell. Just the dumbest thing ever.
Based on the trailer, I would not expect any different.
No, yeah, I'll probably give it its own video, but I will spoil one of the X-rays for you. There is a character who, in her X-ray, punches Scorpion in the balls, and it does a cutaway to his muscly balls, and his balls pop.
His vas deferens. Oh God!
He has no balls left by the end of the fight. So really,
that actually makes me like the game a
but
little
it's
bit
just
more.
an X-ray, so it's not a fatality. So he could still win. He just would have no balls from that point
right.
on. So
he's
he won the battle, but he lost the war. I guess
that's pretty amazing, actually.
Really, just stupid stuff.
Is there anything bad you've seen here?
I don't think I would describe anything as bad. Like generally, if I have an appointment for a game that I think is bad, I will go into it and give it the best intentions. And then if there's a game that I think is just fully outside of my wheelhouse and not interesting, we have really limited time, and there's like only 2 of us, so I tried to pick things that I could say interesting things about and enjoy. So I've kind of avoided the bad games because what I perceive to be outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I've been impressed with almost everything I've seen. I did check out Hellraid yesterday.
Yeah.
Which, man, I hate to say this because the developers are such cool people and are like super into the game, but that game is just so generic.
Yeah?
Like, it's just a generic dungeon crawler.
Like first person?
Through and through. First person, it's like all the enemies are just like skeletons and undead. There was one cool enemy who was like, I can't remember his name. He was like the half goat, half man character from like the third circle of hell or something. Yes. It was not Rumpelstiltskin, although that is a good idea for a future video game.
Email them that.
But it was just like, I was watching them demo it and they were talking about all these things that they were like, yeah, and this is really unique. And I was just like, no, it's not. It's in so many other games, and like, it didn't even look that great. Like, you're just in a dungeon the whole time. The animations are super stiff and a little bit janky.
Sounds like a blast.
I mean, I'm sure there's a very specific subset of people who's going to be like super into that game, but I feel like what they're trying to accomplish, like so many other games have done it and done it so much better.
Who is the developer? Techland?
Techland, yeah.
It's weird. Like, Techland games can be pretty hit or miss. I almost feel like sometimes they make good games, not on accident, but inadvertently. Like games that are good in spite of themselves.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just, I don't know.
It seems like even the more original games that they've done, like the first Dead Island, are still not all that original in and of themselves, and everything that they've done since has just been sort of like trying to build on the success of that game.
Did they, I can't remember, did they do Call of Juarez Gunslinger? Because if they did,
I think so, actually.
Yeah, like that game is just phenomenal and is all about feel and is all about combos and is super arcadey and actiony.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, and it'd be easy to believe I am, because it's hard to imagine that coming from the people who made this or Dead Island.
I mean, they're also making Dying Light, which I also saw with Hellraid, and that game I thought was really good. I mean, I saw that at PAX last year, and I had some problems with it. I thought a lot of the parkour stuff was like not nearly as polished as it should be, but I think
they pushed it back, right?
They pushed it back, yeah, to February 2015. I think they've worked on it a lot since then because it feels so much better. And I don't know, I feel like it's been enough time now since I played Dead Island that I'm ready to like do something similar.
Okay, I get that way with games sometimes.
It's not like Dead Island in the sense that like you can craft weapons and like, I mean,
I think I feel the same way about Batman, in that I kind of skipped Arkham Origins, and I think I'm ready to do another one of those. I wouldn't call it bad, but I think the closest thing to a game I saw that I was just like kind of yawning at a little is Assassin's Creed Unity. It
really?
just seems like Assassin's Creed again, and that's fine for a lot of people, and I think it's probably gonna be a fun game. But like, those games are so big and top heavy and samey, and I'm not super compelled by the environment. Maybe they'll be motivated because it's French and they're French. Maybe they will make the best game ever. But like, knowing that game is going to be just a 45-hour thing looming over my head until I play it. I don't know, man. Nothing super jumped out at me as like, oh, this is next gen. It's just like bigger crowds, but it's still the same Assassin's Creed 2 gameplay.
They've also been working on that game since long before new consoles came out.
9 or 10 developers too, spread across the game.
It's 10 different Ubisoft studios, which is outrageous.
I just feel like there might be too many cooks spoiling the broth situation, but I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a fair shake. The hands-off demo we saw was like, all right,
I feel like people who are super into Assassin's Creed are going to love that game.
Just feels pretty incremental to me, but that's those games make them money.
I don't think it's going to pull in any new people who don't already like the series.
I liked 2.
I loved 4, so I'm ready to give this one a spin.
Cool.
And also, like, 18th century France. It's kind of a cool time setting.
It is,
like if anybody could make a French Revolution game really well, it's probably Ubisoft.
Probably Ubisoft, yeah. Maybe they'll do interesting stuff with that. Maybe they'll take the sort of crowd rioting stuff seriously. They claimed that all 1,000 people in that crowd we saw had individual unique AI, which I find hard to believe. That they're actually distinct characters with motivations, but
yeah, hopes and dreams.
Yeah, it's big promises. That's kind of the story of E3.
That's kind of the story of next gen in general.
Yeah.
So
let's see how many of them live up to it.
Yeah.
Video games.
Hey, there is a ton of awesome video games coming out this year, and if you want the money to actually buy all of the games you want, then you should sign up for Ting.
Yeah, Ting is this alternative sort of version of a cell phone provider plan that doesn't require you to lock yourself into a painful 2-year contract and makes you only pay for what you use each month. So let's say 1 month you leave your phone at home and go on vacation, you won't pay any data fines and minutes.
Yeah, you only pay for what you use. There's no long-term plans. You don't have to pay any crazy hidden fees. Like you always have to do with your cell phone provider. It puts the power back in your hands and it is completely transparent. They will show you everything that you have used and all of your charges. No hidden fees, no crazy stuff like that. And they have awesome customer service. If you call up Ting, you will actually speak to a real live human being, which is unheard of.
In this day and age?
No robots.
You kidding me?
Exactly.
I'm over robots.
So if you want to sign up for Ting, or if you want to check out their savings calculator, which can show you how much money you would save over 2 years if you switch to Ting, just hit up rev3games.ting.com. And if you sign up with that link, you will also get $25 off your first monthly bill. Again, that is rev3games.ting.com. And remember, every sign up helps support Rev3 Games.